Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Gaming Accessory with Mike every day. And we are checking out Lost Vault again, the new features of the latest update, Camille Rykowski's Magnus Opus. And yes, we're going to be checking out another one of the coolest features of the update. Last time I talked about the altar and how important contributing to your clan was. I also talked a lot about how you can line up your altar sacrifices throughout the week so that you can have an easy time, efficient time donating correctly to your clan. And also I talked a lot about how the new UI features are making the lives of all of us who play accessible games like Lost Vault easier every day. I throw big shout outs to some of you channel friends who've been giving us all the tips and hints in the world. And I again want to say and appreciate all of you who have been playing Lost Vault, who've been really supporting it. Thank you so much, and thank you to Camille. Today we're going to be talking about the Explore feature and some of the really super cool things that I've been doing with it. I'm going to show you some of those features.
Critical hit chance.
So if you
21. Rank. Tab 6 of 6.
Four-finger tap the bottom of the screen, which I find to be the simplest way. I'd also like to say the bottom screen elongated a tiny bit. I don't know if that was a new little change that happened with the latest update, but you used to be able to touch your finger at the bottom of the screen and kind of grab the tabs a little bit. Now it feels like the interface kind of overlaps the bottom tabs a little bit, so that might be a little change that we could probably fix. But again, like I've mentioned in previous videos, the primary job of developers is to balance content with accessibility, with updates, with not just accessibility and improvements for those of us who are visually impaired and blind, but for those of us who are sighted and visually diverse. So it's a huge balancing act that they don't really get paid very much money for, and they do out of the kindness and their own internal altruism. And the way we give back to altruistic, kind, wonderful developers, such as developer of Lost Vault, is to completely dedicate ourselves to supporting the game, which means making sure that if you have a little something extra, you can donate it by buying some bottle caps. You can also donate by watching ads if you can't afford to really contribute by buying bottle caps. Don't mistake me, people. Anytime that you can give something back, even if it's small, it's the thought that counts. So if you have a lot, you could probably buy yourself a bottle cap package. If you don't have that much, you can watch some ads and spin the bottle caps you do have on features within the game. Also, you can also share this game, like it high in the App Store, and do all kinds of other sharing mechanisms to spread the word about Lost Vault. Your kind words go a long way to making a game played by everyone in our community. I want Lost Vault played by everyone who enjoys role-playing games because it is that good. It's that deep. Now, I know a lot of you think that games should all have bells and whistles and everything should make a sound, but that's not what Lost Vault's trying to be. Lost Vault is trying to be the retro RPG that you would play, and I'm going to get deep here. Now, you may not like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it. It's the kind of game that, if you really like a smart person and you're just down there looking at the ratios and the spreadsheet, and you're in there having fun, and you got your soda with a straw, and you got your feet up, inside of the automatic massage bath there, and you're on your couch in the garage, and you got a little Led Zeppelin playing in the background, and you got your little nerdy glasses on that blocks out a little bit of light, and you just got your back massager running, and you're just enjoying some like Nutter Butter cookies and stuff, and you're getting your geek on. Yeah, Lost Vault's the game for you because we represent, and that's why I play Lost Vault, because it lets me get my nerd on, lets me get my geek on, lets me get my smart dude stuff on. At the same time, it lets me interact with other people in our community who are also playing the game because the clan interface is so good. Camille's done a great job. He's done some cleaning up of a lot of the interactivity between people who are playing the game. So not only that, you can freely interact with people in the Discord community who will answer almost any question you have. So yes, I know I'm a terrible source of information and you probably don't get a lot from me, but hey folks, you can swing by the Discord community and find an abundance of clean, crisp, creamy information digestible chunks just right for you, and you don't have to complain about me playing too loud music and blowing your eardrums out, right? So sit back, relax. We're going to be talking a lot about exploring, and maybe about 15 or 20 minutes you'll be like, that dude, Mike, he's not such a beep. All right, let's go over to explore. Four-finger tap the bottom.
Rank. Tab 6 of clan. Tab 2 explore. Tab
Hit
4 of 6.
explore. Now, Explorer's been completely changed, so there are new interfaces. Most of the interaction happens right in the center of the screen. You can take your finger and poke the middle of the screen, which I'm going to do in 3, 2,
Select reward type. Heading.
and there you go. Swipe your finger to the left, swipe your finger to the right, and you can move throughout the menus completely accessibly. Now, what makes this new interface so good is that everything is centralized. It's not spread out to the edges so badly, which was what made the previous UI either your favorite thing or really difficult to use. For those of you who are sighted and visually diverse, you found it a little harder to use. For those of us who were visually impaired and blind, it wasn't so bad because we knew how to navigate through it quite easily because it was so accessible. But what happens now is that you have a little bit more opportunity to touch navigate, which is really a blessing in a way because we're all in this together, folks. So, developers have to strive to balance games between all people who play their games, not just one group. It's not just about the visually impaired and blind, but it's also about the sighted and visually diverse. It's about lots of people with lots of disabilities and lots of abilities. So let's try to understand how cool this new Explorer interface is. So we've got new things we can do. So we now have the new survival activity, which occurs, I don't know how many times a day because I'm still learning about it, but you can go ahead and four-finger tap the top of the screen once you're in the Explore tab.
My resources. Cash 767K. Bottle cap 875 water. 480/480 water recovery. 7H 12 meters. Button.
Okay, that's your typical information you receive. These tell you basically from top to bottom how much money you have, how many bottle caps you have, how much water you have, and when will your water be resupplied. Your water is resupplied every day around the same. I think it's 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. For me, that's when it occurs. And I think when we spring forward, for some countries, you don't spring forward, you get the same time. For me, it becomes 5 p.m., you get your water, and 5 a.m., you get your water. So you basically get your water twice in a 24-hour cycle, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just wrong there, I'm not doing the math right, but that's what it seems to come out to me. And actually, I'd like to make a suggestion. One day, it'd be kind of nice if I don't wake up, I can set it to automatically use my Explorers. That would be so cool. Wouldn't it be cool we had a subscription that we had a little guy? Like, there was a game I used to play that had a goblin servant, and the goblin servant would use up stuff that I didn't use and make sure I didn't waste anything or overflow. The goblin servant would basically sell anything that was overflowing. Like, say for instance, if we had like the Lost Vaults version of a goblin servant, the goblin servant would basically make sure if my farm is overflowing and its stockpiles are full, it would empty them into my inventory. Same thing with my water. If my water was overflowing, it would use up whatever water is sitting stagnant and then add in my water purifier, the water that's sitting there, that 250 that I always waste every day that sits there for hours and it doesn't build up anymore. Wouldn't it be really cool if we had like a little goblin guy or goblin girl or goblin them that would basically make sure that none of our resources overflow? Because there is one terrible thing that I hate. Above all things I hate, and you know what that is, overflow. I absolutely should have been the biggest penny pinching economist in the entire world because I hate when things go to waste. I mean, listen, I'll drink a soda. If there's like a little piece of soda, that little soda left in the can, I down that thing. I hate wasting stuff. But look, we don't have a goblin servant. We don't even have a unicorn servant. It can be some weird looking sandstorm guy or something, whatever. It can be a little donkey. It could be a cute little something. I'm just saying, it'd be kind of cool if we had like a little servant who would like empty stuff that got a little full. Anyway,
My resources. Wastelands.
get
Tab 1 of 3.
sidetracked here. Okay, so now that you know that you have a new kind of setup, swing by your Explorer, and we're gonna go take a peek at the new Survival.
My resources. Wastelands. Selected. Vaults. 1 tab 3
Double
of
tap
3.
on Vault, and now you have your new Vault tab.
Wastelands. Tab 1 of 3. My
Here's
resources.
what it is when
Cache
you
767K.
top to bottom.
Bottle cap 800. Wastelands. Caravan. 1. Selected. Vaults. 1 tab 3 of 3.
Vaults.
Info.
There's info, which is a description.
Spicy hell. Button.
Spicy heck which is where I'm at. I can't seem to get by any of the creatures here. They're so powerful.
Progress 9/10 hell on earth is here. Turn
I
back and
need to-
enjoy the life you have left.
I'm trying to beat the last vault creature in this particular vault. It's like level 100 and it won't let me kill it. I'll kill it eventually though.
Unlock. Dimmed. But key number 11.
You
Image.
have a new unlock thing. So you get a key to unlock things. So that's another thing. So everything is much clearer here.
Survival. Heading.
Now we have a new thing, survival heading. And yes, it does work with your voiceover features like heading. Let's double check that.
Audio ducking. Headings.
Headings activated with my rotor. Let's see if I am not right or not wrong.
Heading not found. Heading not found. Key number 11. Survival.
Yep,
Heading.
works. If you're in between the headings, simply swipe and you'll get to the next heading. So that's great. So I love that Camille's added headings to everything. That makes things so much cleaner. All right, so what happens here is that now you have this new thing called survival. So swipe to your right.
Show. Button.
You hear that show button. So I think what we could do, because survival is a little hidden. So if you weren't looking for survival, I don't believe you would find it. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't want to assume you couldn't find it. Maybe you're just a little bit more observant than I am. But I had to hear somebody say it was there and I went looking for it. But I think we should probably make it a little bit more visible. Maybe that little thing I talked about, having tooltips pop up occasionally when there's new content. I'd love to have like the thing that certain large MMOs do, which when there's new content, you get a little character that pops up and goes, "Hey, mister, there's some new stuff. I could check it out." And thank you, Grandma Zumi. Grandma Zumi's going to do this part of the episode today. You can check out the new survival feature, and squeak, squeak, you can go over there and see what it does. And it allows you to once a day go through as many vaults as you can, if assuming you'll beat all the creatures that are bosses. So there you go. So this is really cool because once a day, like Zumi said, you can get all the items that are in there. So you'll get the rewards, the resources, the items, but you also have to beat those bosses. Now it gets really easy at first and your levels go up slowly, but eventually you'll start getting to some much harder vault bosses. Now I'm going to go ahead and see if I have any more activations of it right now.
Survivor. Tab 1 of 6. Items. Tab 5 shelter. Tab spicy hell. Progress 9. Keep. Survival. Head. Show. Button.
Double tap on show.
My resources.
There
Cache
we go.
767K. Bottle cap 875 water. 480/480 water recovery. 7H06 meters. Button. Plundering
Touch
the
the
vaults.
center.
0 meters zeros.
Okay,
Ready. 5.
so-
4. Survival level. Vaults are full of abandoned equipment and treasuries. Plunder already visited places and challenge groups of beasts. Can you reach the end of the wave?
There you go. So that's the description, and it tells you exactly what you expect. It's just really cool to get to fight all the vaults again, and this is one of the coolest things that have been added. So you can go back and fight them all, but I love that you get to start from the beginning. I really hope we can do this over and over again. It is so amazing. Might I also add, I'd really love to have a fun vault added, where we could get really cool items like potions for druids who need more intellect, maybe items that give us the candy canes. Maybe we can go back and get items that provide us special like event treasures, like 120% in experience or cash boosts and stuff. I really think there's a small amount of items in this game and we need more. I really want to add more items. Some of them, okay, well, what's your big ideal, Mike? If you have some really cool ideas of what can be added to the game, well, I have a really couple of cool ideas. Number one, I'd like to make it so that donations could double. For instance, I love to have an item that doubles your donations. So for instance, I give a 4,000 scrap donation. Wouldn't it be cool if once per day we had an item that had like a 5% chance to double your donations? That would be a cool item, and it wouldn't happen very often. It would negligibly affect the game, but it would be really cool when it went off, and that item would last maybe an hour. So you do as many donations as you can during the and then during the cooldown would maybe be some ludicrous amount of time, like 23 hours or something. But that item would allow you to sometimes get a double donation or something. That would be so cool. How about an item that mimics any of the special event items? I'd love to have like a pie that has a random effect like every hour. Basically, it lasts for like so many hours and it has a random effect. So you eat it, and then every hour the buff changes. Like one time it's a stamina buff, another time it's a strength buff, another time it's an agility buff. I would love to have an item that allows me for my pet to get a buff. Right now my pet just does a static amount of damage. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if pets had a super pet buff item? Your pet's damage is doubled that day. I'd also like to have a day that allows me to do all of my vaults twice. Not just once, but twice. I would love to have a buff. Now, I know that Camille doesn't like to touch water. I'm not going there. I promise. I'm walking away. Walk away. I'm walking away from the water. But I'd love to have a buff that gives you more opportunities to find water. Maybe it can be some kind of weird thing that says water opportunities to find higher percentage by 1 or 2 or 5%, depending on what you build with the buff. And now I'm going to drop my magnum opus. Here we go. My brand new cool ideal for Lost Vault would be to add quests not only within the shelters that allow you to go on certain missions to look for items, but also ways to build up those quest givers' chances to give you quests, because they'd be random, but also give you a chance to earn special strange items that build things. Like maybe some build like a mine cart that gathers up more gold. Maybe some of them build up a special buff cart that finds you more buff potions. Maybe some builds up your intellect. It's like a mine crystal. And if you put all these parts together, go back to your quest giver on the certain shelter tabs, boom, you can make that item, pay a little cash, pay a little scraps, and it's put together. Now the thing is, we already have shelter tabs. They're very underutilized. We rarely go inside of them. What if inside of each one of our shelters, there was something cool in there that we can go in there and do a little quick quest stuff? It would just be once a day. If you build up those quest tabs within your shelter buildings, each one would have its own, you would get a chance to do a request. For instance, there'd be a shelter, and underneath your place that is your, the one that gives you cash, there'd be a certain quest in there. It'd be one of 100 different quests in there. And each one of those quests is a different thing. Like one would say, gain cash from spinning the wheel. So you'd have to get that quest. It would be a meta quest, so it wouldn't happen all together in one day, but you could make it last in one day. Maybe it would be a hard one that you have to do in one day, but you would make it like balanced out to happen in one day, or maybe it'd be one that would happen in a week. There would also be a quest tab on the invasion, which is so underutilized because the invasion has nothing going on in it. So look, every time would be kill 10 evasion bosses, get a massive reward. That'd be so cool. But anyway, getting back to this information on the vault.
4.
So once you have activated this little menu, you swipe.
Plundering the vaults. 0 meters zeros. Ready. Fight. Button.
When you hear that ready fight, you just double tap that.
Survivor. Plundering the vaults. 0 meters zeros. Ready. Fight. Button.
There's a button.
Plundering
double
the vaults.
tap it.
Zeros.
Now it's plundering the vault.
Nudith Gaming hit giant mouse.
There it is.
91,006 battle.
As you can hear, my character is fighting all the creatures and trying to beat them all within an hour. Now, if you beat them all, you get all of the rewards, which is super cool. So this is your way of getting to do all the vault battles over and over again. Now let's see if I beat it.
Health. Gold spider. Health. 0/2864 legged fish. Level 5. Image. Blue sky. Illustrations. Gold spider. Level 4. Giant mouse.
And there, as you can hear, I'm killing all these. These are all vault bosses, by the way.
Level 3. Nudith Gaming hit. Nudith Gaming hit. Nudith Gaming hit. Nudith Gaming hit. Nudith Gaming hit.
And you
Enormous
swiped
score.
it,
1.
and you get to hear because Camille put the new
Image.
Camille put the whole entire battle system, so you can hear exactly what you've done in every battle, which is one of the latest updates, second to the last update, which is amazing. So you get to hear everything you've done and how much health you have. And thank you so much, Camille, for fixing how it says who hit who. It's now correct. It tells you that I hit the enemy. The enemy hit New Def Gaming, or the enemy hit game. So everything's been fixed there. Everything's been clean, streamlined, enhanced, tool-tipped. We're great. So once you do all this,
Nudith Gaming hit. Claim button.
you now can claim all your rewards from this particular run of the survival.
Claim.
I'm gonna double tap that.
Reward. Heading.
And now let's hear what rewards I got. Now these are very low level vault creatures, so it's not gonna be very big.
Cash. 1.69k.
There we go.
Experience. 126. Scraps. 34. 7.71% / level 72.
And there you go.
Close.
And those
button.
are all my rewards, okay?
Close button. My resources. Cash 769k.
What's
Bottle
really
cap
cool is that you can do the survival. I do believe it's once a day, maybe more, and you definitely get a chance to get really cool rewards that you haven't gotten in a while. So wait till you get to higher levels. Now, I do believe my level went up on my survival.
Vaults are full of abandoned equipment. Survival. Heading. Info. Close. Selected. Vaults. Caravan. 1. Wasteland. Vaults are full of abandoned. Survival level 5.
Okay, I'm survival level 5, which is really cool. I went up 1 level, which is really cool.
Next expedition in. 4H 58 meters.
So in 4 hours, I'll get to do this again. So you're going to want to do this as much as possible. And I don't believe it goes back down. Once you go up a level, it continues to go up in level. So this is really clean. I can't wait to see the next iteration of this. I'm sure this is going to expand. But one of the things I was talking about, which is really cool, is that there's so much new things and content that are being added. And I like how Camille is adding it slowly, accessibly, and logically. It's building on what we already have, which is so good. And again, having fun vaults would be really cool. Vaults that you can get really weird and goofy items. They don't necessarily have to be valuable items. I love to have a vault that all you gain from it are just scrap items that you can recycle. I'd love to have a vault that the only thing you can gain from it are buff potions. Or how about a vault that just has swarms of monsters so it can really test your skills. So yes, I really think there's so many cool things that are coming on in Lost Vault. The content is coming in. We're getting so many new features. And like I said, if you have stepped away for a minute, you might want to step back and give the game a try. It has so many cool things. In the next particular episode, I'm also going to cover my new skill. I've reached level 72, as you all heard, so the cat's out of the bag. New Def Gaming is now level 72, and I'm going to talk about the new talent, which I think is called Jackpot or something. Gamble. It's called Gamble, which is really cool. Actually, it's I'll save that for next time. But thank you very much, folks. Thank you for coming to Lost Vault. Thank you for giving me the preciousness of your time. Love yourself, each other. Always be kind. And as always, game accessibly every day with Mike. Take care, all.